the type of man that I'm attracting, and I notice they're not emotionally available, I think was the context. Does that mean that because the universe matches and mirrors us and it's holographic, does that mean I'm attracting that man because I'm not emotionally available? Which makes sense, right? If you take the logic into it. But sometimes when you look beyond the logic and you look to the frequency, it is something within yourself holds the frequency that says, this is what allowed, this is safe and sound. And so you attract it in. So it's not per se to say you yourself are emotionally available or unavailable. It is the frequency behind it for which you're attracting them. So this is like the attachment theory. If you want to look up that, I'm not going to say this is my own work. This is someone else's work, the attachment theory, or your paw print, which is the underlying belief system of powerlessness, abandonment, and worthlessness, for which we all run at least one of them, if not two. So they are often your attraction point. That's that deep-seated root level. And it is not necessarily correct or safe for you to say, I'm attracting unavailable men or emotionally unavailable men, so does that mean I'm emotionally unavailable? Not necessarily. You need to look to the wound beneath it and the root cause there as to why he's not emotionally available, because that's the surface level, that's what you see. That's what you're seeing in them, but there is a reason why. And that will often match the reason why you're attracting them. And hopefully that makes a bit more sense, because I know when I noticed the patterns, I was very quick to get very upset and down on myself, because I was like, well, shit, why am I attracting that? What is it within me that is broken or wrong? That is broken or wrong, that is meaning this man is who I'm bringing in. And if you look at surface level, you could very quickly discount yourself, undervalue yourself, feel unworthy, feel like shit, because you're like, oh, this is what I'm attracting. And I feel like this is where a lot of people have got stuck this week on day 3, when they've looked at the feelings and what they're doing in their life and gone, well, shit, there's a gap here. This is not what I want it to be like. And we kind of shut down. Sometimes we're not ready to look at the roots beneath it. But when I say trauma or wounds, it's really important, and I jotted this down earlier just so we could address fully what came up on the Sunday, and it was literally just a comment in the threads. Trauma is anything we code that makes us edit our behaviors. Okay, so let's just hear that again. It's not something that necessarily is hugely traumatic in the scheme of life. Trauma is anything we code that makes us edit our behavior. So this can be just things so small in the scheme of life. Oh, we've got company. Hello. Please excuse the cat. It's anything in the scheme of life that is making us edit our behavior. So it is coded, and that code will then produce the effect or the behavior. And it's that code that is therefore the pattern, that is therefore your point of attraction, which is often why we get the pattern in the first place. Now, this is very, very unique to each individual. This is not something I can cast a big recipe over and wrap you up in a blanket and say, oh, it's okay, this is how easy it is. Here's 3 steps and a solution. That's not how it works when we go into our behavioral conditioning. Now, this is psychology. This is real. This is not woo-woo. Our behavioral psychology is something that's part of like who we are, and it's often from when we were young. So it's really important that you explore and witness your map of the world. And what I mean by map is, as in how you perceive something that happens. So like for me, like a really basic example of a map of the world, and I'm not sure if it's relevant, but it's the first one that comes to mind. For me, growing up, dinner time was TV off, everyone sits down to the table at the same time. we all sit and we eat, and everyone, you ask to leave the table when your food is finished, which is probably why I still clean up my plate now. See the behavior pattern? And that is my reality of dinner time. So my partner, I'm not sure what exactly happened in his childhood dinner table, but he's very happy to eat dinner at separate times and sit on the lounge and watch TV. So you're not even at a table or a like proper dining table. So that's a very surface level example of how two different maps of the world then dictate how you see and perceive dinner time and what happens at dinner time. And see, if I'm over here waiting to sit down and eat together and have the TV off and have conversations, because that's what I did from birth till I moved out of home, when he does something different and wants to turn on the TV and just disconnect almost, just to eat dinner and tune out, relax, that's his map of the world and how he sees dinner. And it's very easy for me to see it as like, you're not interested in me, you're not giving me time, you're not wanting to connect with me, and that will trigger my paw print of abandonment because he's abandoning me to watch flipping TV. So see how easy my map of the world and my perception of dinner overlaps to me as an adult and how I perceive how things should be at a dinner table. So that's a really simple example